let me bring you guys down memory lane to the past very quick, because I'm telling you guys something right now. In the toughest of times you ever go through in your life, you will become the most isolated and alone you have ever been. Ever. Ever. In your toughest of times. So it's like thing after thing after thing after thing. All of a sudden, you're alone. You're on your own path. You're on your own journey. You're doing your own shit. And guess what? It's right where you need to be. I take myself back down memory lane. It's when all the hardest shit happened to me is when God isolated me away from everything and everybody for the greater good. God will isolate his warriors in the toughest of times. In the toughest of times. He will do this. And it is up to you to recognize that this is happening for the greater good of your life and your existence here on earth. There are certain things you must go through to develop yourself as a man. There are certain things you absolutely have to go through that most people are not willing to go through. The reason why you go through this and a lot of other people don't is because you have courage. These things ain't happening to you just because it's you. These things are happening to you because you actually made a conscious choice for those things to happen to you. What happened to me did not have to happen. I chose for that to happen. I put myself in position for those things to happen. I could have been a weak little pissworm and been like, and hit people up, let's hang out, and then go drink and do what everybody else does and be a fucking sloth. Be an embarrassment to God and his creation of me. But guess what? I followed my intuition. I did what was right, no matter how hard it was. And I'm telling you guys now, God will isolate his warriors in the toughest of times. I went through a bad breakup, lost a bunch of friends, bad connections with family at this point. Everything was off. Isolated. It was one thing after the other. In my mind, I'm going nuts. But at the same time, I developed this kind of composure about myself to the point where I start to think clearly and more logically. And I get super serious about my life. I cut out so many bad addictions. I cut out so many things. And it wasn't even like the worst of addictions. Just little bad habits. I cut out so many things and developed so many positive habits, so many healthy habits. And then over time you change. And when you can do this and go through that amount of pain and come out on the other end a very, very, very much stronger, more solid version of yourself, God will reward you for that. You might not get your biggest reward at that time, but you're going to be hella rewarded. And then you just keep the ball rolling, and it comes down to how bad do you want it? What are you willing to go through at the end of the day to continue on in life and in your path to conquer your world? What else are you willing to go through? I'm telling you guys now, not a lot of people have the balls to do this. Barely any. If you have the balls, if you have the courage, if you have the nerve, if you're willing to literally wake up every day and say, you know what? I'm ready to suffer today. I'm willing to do something that is very difficult today. I am willing to do it. I want to do it. You are in a very powerful position because most people are trying to run away from that kind of stuff. Do what's easy. Hit up the friends. Feel comfortable. Do this. Do that. Do nothing hard at all. Do not challenge yourself any way across the board. If you are willing to challenge yourself, you will get rewarded. God will only isolate his warriors. If you feel right now you're isolated, if you feel right, or even if you were in the past, and stuff like this, that is because he considers you a warrior. You're already ahead of the pack. You should not look at other people's lives and other people that are doing whatever the hell they're doing, thinking they're doing well. They have literally given up. They're living the average life. They have already given up. They are in the matrix. They are lost. They have so many problems, so many health problems coming, so many problems from all angles coming while you're solving problems. You're becoming better. You're becoming closer and closer and closer to a 1%er. You are God's warrior. You are on to much bigger and better things. There's so many bigger and better things coming into your life. People who are going to deserve you. Things that are really going to matter. Unlike a lot of fake shit that goes on, these people that are in the modern day world, in the matrix, nothing about that is trustworthy. Nothing about that is beautiful. It's all smoke and mirrors. They're living in the modern day world. You are a modern day gladiator. There's a big difference here. You're a part of this modern day world culture, or you're a modern day gladiator. Which one is it going to be? Because it is going to be one or the other. You have a choice. I'm going to tell you right now, you have a choice. If you're going to be just like everybody else, you do not have a hope in hell. And I mean that with everything inside of me. You do not have a hope in hell. I cannot express it enough. I don't even have to. I just want you to take my word for it and understand that you don't have a hope in hell. If you're going to be just like everybody else, you have to be willing to let go of what everything else is, of what you could be a part of, so you can be a part of something so much bigger, which is your own mission, your own path. Whether anybody else likes it or not, you're choosing to be greater, you're choosing to be better than everybody else. Not in this egotistical way, but for real. Like for real. You're willing to choose your higher self. Not everybody is willing to do that. How can you call yourself your higher self when you're partying all the time, not being disciplined, eating whatever, being unhealthy, being around bullshit people that are making fools of themselves all the time, being around toxic shit? You can't. You are a clown just like all these other people. It makes you no better to be around people like that because it wears on you. You can think you're smarter, you can be around these people and all this, but the more you hang with them, the stupider you become. The more of a clown you become, just like the other clowns. You have to have the bravery to take your own fucking path. You have to have that kind of bravery. You either want it or you don't. You're going to be like all these other modern day scavengers, is what they are. They're all scavengers. They're all fake. Nothing's real. It's all smoke and mirrors. I've been in there. When I was young, I've been in there. The reason why things fell so hard in my life is because once upon a time I thought a lot of shit was real when it wasn't. I was never about that life. I just thought things was different because I was younger, more naive. And once I realized what everything really was, that's when everything changed. Bad breakup, a lot of fake friends, gone, isolated. And now I'm doing my own thing. You're going to have a couple people who's going to understand you in real life. There might be many people in the world in different places that understand you, that's on board with you, all this other stuff, but you'll have a couple people where you come from that actually understand you. Other than that, it's going to be little to nothing because people don't want to understand you. It's not that they can't. A lot of people's capable of understanding you, but a lot of them don't even want to. They just don't. Because if you talk to them deep enough about you and your life and your path and how things are, they're going to start to get glimpses of what the life you live actually is all about. And it's going to make them feel very inferior. That's why a lot of average people ain't going to want to be around you, listen to you, listen to anything you have to say. It's because you're literally cut from a different cloth, which is why I said you're better. Because you just are. You're cut from a different cloth. You have done things and you're currently doing things that they're just not willing to do. How is it not better? Can anybody tell me? How are you not better when you're that much more focused? It's not that you're just a better person. You were just born better. No. You put in the work to become better. That's why you're better. Listen to this. If I swam 500 laps per week, and some other peasant swam 25, 50 laps per week, who's going to be better? It's common sense. When you do the work, you get better. When you don't, you're just whatever, I guess. But you become a real beast of a human being when you do the work the right way. God will isolate his warriors for what he wants them for on certain paths that he wants them for. Everybody's different. I'm different. You're different. We're all different. We have different things to do. We have different life paths. I don't make these rules. I'm just reporting them. And it's all facts. So, it's whatever you want it to be, bro. It's whatever you want it to be. I actually respect people that can just openly make a choice. You know what, man? I just want to be average. I just want to be a part of the modern day piss clam of a world. I just want to be a part of that. I think it's fun. I just want to be a part of that. That's what I like. That's actually respectable. At least you're open and honest about what you want to do and who you are and all this stuff. And then you leave people like that alone. Because when you really choose a hardcore path of mastery, which has many, 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 many benefits, you're going to be a night and day difference when it comes to these types of people, bro. Like, some people just live to enjoy their life. Okay. Like I said, it's respectable if you can just come out and say something like that. I'm not completely dissing these people. I just don't like it whenever these types of people want to go on and say things like that when they're really not ever going to do it. You can't do shit like that. That's why I'm saying, make a choice. Make a choice, be open and honest, and then go for it. I'm going to be open and honest. I'm on my path 100 miles an hour. You guys are on your path, however fast you're going. Only you know that. I don't know that about you. You only know that. You're watching this video, you're relating to this video, you're hearing my 2 cents about all this stuff, and only you know what's going on. You have to be the one that knows what they want. I think that's most important out of anything. It's just a shame that so many people with potential just let it go because there's something holding them back. Most people actually ain't gonna say, I just want to be a part of modern day society. I just want to have fun and live my life. And most people ain't actually going to say those words. They ain't. They're going to say something that sounds better, but that's actually what it is. Instead of being 100% sure of what they want to do, or being 100% sure that they're going to be a true modern day gladiator, not like everybody else. An A-type person, an A-type personality. It's just complete poison, bro. I'm telling you, being a part of this modern day shit. Which is why, and everyone almost knows that. That's why almost nobody will admit it, but most people are taking that route. Whether you want to believe so or not. There's nothing that I would ever do at school that's going to be, oh my God, I'm so accomplished. I did this in school and I got this great job. A job? I've never worked a job in my life where I feel so accomplished. And so good. Things might be a bit fun here and there, but it's not that accomplishing. It's not that, like, how do I say this? It's just not, there's not a big enough reward. And if you want bigger rewards, you got to work harder on things that are much harder, which is why a lot of people can't do it. Right? A job just ain't going to cut it, especially in today's day and age that we're living in. It's just not going to cut it. A job here and there is all right. Everybody got to make some money. Everybody got to do whatever they got to do. But when that's it and that's the end goal, to me and to me only, as I speak personally, that is not even close to enough. I'm way too ambitious, way too driven. I can't even fathom that in my mind. It almost creates anxiety just talking about it. I could not imagine. Here's my job. That's it. Hi, boss. That's not even close to enough, bro. Not even close to enough. But some people will settle with that, and they're usually the ones that'll get a little bit of something and just enjoy the rest. There goes all your ambition. So this video is not for those people. I'm just trying to break things down and explain the differences here. Because God's warriors is not a part of that kind of stuff. God's warriors have greater purpose. God's warriors have a little something extra. And not just a little. Definitely not just a little. A lot more extra. That they're willing to give. Hella sacrifices. Hella suffering. So much. You give so much of yourself into whatever it is that you do. Not everybody has that in them. Not everybody's willing to be that disciplined and dedicated. They would rather be a part of this dumbass life that makes no sense, which is a modern day life. To me, it makes no sense. Like, none at all. Get your people, get your circle, get things around you that make sense, and build. Build. And no matter what, no matter who's around you, you have to be building. Everything for the chosen ones that should be happening. You are building something up. If it ain't about that, you should not be doing it. Hanging around people just to hang around people is something you should be spending such a little amount of time on. Such a little amount of time. Unless those people you're hanging with are helping you build. Or something big is happening because you're with those types of people and you're all together building something. Your time is very valuable. Get your right people, if anyone at all. And you don't need shit. You could be building something by yourself. In the meantime, then other people can come. But there's no excuse to not build by yourself. You can build something by yourself. You can build yourself up. You can get healthier. You can get stronger, fitter, smarter, whatever. Build more understanding to this world. Build a nice project. Build whatever you want. Develop a new skill. Do something that is building, not destroying. Because most people in this modern day world are just doing destructive things. They're destructive people. And the sad part is, there's so many people stuck in that modern world, in the matrix, that have so much potential. Because what I'm trying to say here is, it's not easy to literally live your life as a warrior, as a modern day gladiator. It's not easy. That's why a lot of people like to take that other route. Because it is not easy. It is not even easy to escape the matrix. Although the world we were all put into. It's not easy. It takes everything inside of yourself. It takes everything. And the sad part is, like I said, there's so many people stuck in the matrix that has so much potential that is not even willing to find out or figure anything out. They're stuck there and they will stay there forever. And it is a shame because of the potential. I've lost so many people that had so much potential, and it was sad at the time. Literally sad at the time. But you're going to get to a point where you have to let them go. You can't save them. You can't convince them of anything. It's almost like the person you saw them being is just dead. Just because you're alive doesn't mean you're living. A lot of those people in the Matrix today are dead. They're slowly just dying. And then here comes the smart ass people. Everyone's gonna die. You are a moron, is what you are. A moron. You just don't get it. And I'm not even going to take the time to convince you of anything. Have a nice day.